3, 2, 1.
Okay, welcome to the program. I'm Duncan, Garner, and this is Editor-in-Chief Live. It's great to have your company this morning. It's 0800 863 293. Sexually explicit images of children on websites will be removed here in New Zealand and filtered out. A huge win for those campaigning to see an end to all of this. A great win. A long time coming, of course. But here's the big but. The government wants to lay off 11 workers in the very department that would be doing this hard work. It's not going to work, is it? Does that put all of the hard work in jeopardy? I will ask the Minister very shortly to give her guarantee that jobs won't be lost in this area. 0800 863 293. We're live across social media this morning. We're on TikTok, we're on Rover, YouTube, and also on Twitch Live, Facebook Live as well. Leave us a comment, get involved, maybe jump on YouTube and have your say there as well. It's news time. Here's MediaWorks Deputy News Chief. It is Grace Cocker. Good morning.
An emotional plea from the mother of the missing Marakulpa children has been made. Police are investigating 40 reports received after putting up the $80,000 reward last week. Their mother, Kat, appeared in a video statement.
Ember is asthmatic, as am I, and she needs medical care that cannot be provided from the land.
A new survey paints a grim picture of life as a supermarket worker. Low pay, understaffing and customer abuse were cited as major concerns. First Union's Rudd Hughes says grocery staff are not being looked after.
About 75% of people who were surveyed in this said they couldn't regularly pay their bills. You know, what we've got here is people living wage packet to wage packet and struggling.
Pharmac will allow breast cancer patients to switch drugs if they suffer severe side effects. The Brooker and Jo Foundation's Adele Gautier says it will make a huge difference.
But not all patients are going to have severe side effects, but a proportion of them will. And for them, it's literally a difference between life and death, stop treatment or not.
Vladimir Putin has arrived in North Korea this morning for his first visit in more than 2 decades. The Russian president is vowing to deepen trade and security pacts to support Kim Jong-un's regime against America. His visit is being closely monitored by the US and its Asian allies. And Justin Timberlake apparently told police he only had one martini after being arrested for drink driving. The Grammy Award-winning singer had just finished dinner with friends in the Hamptons when he was pulled over. CNN's Elizabeth Wasmeister says his driving attracted officers' attention.
Police saw him swerving in and out of lanes and he ran through a stop sign. He was released from police custody this morning.
To sport, there's history between the number 8s ahead of Saturday's sold-out Super Rugby final at Eden Park. Hoskins Sotutu from the Blues knows all about rising Chiefs star Wallace Satiti.
He actually played at my club as well, so he played at Auckland Mariners.
And in football, Turkey's beaten Georgia 3-1 at Euro 2024. Playing now is Cristiano Ronaldo and Portugal against Czech Republic. It's 0-0 after 30 minutes. That's news and sport.
Okay, JT, just the one drink.
Apparently.
Just the one drink and swerving. Yeah.
Swerving, bleary-eyed. There's pictures of him in handcuffs looking just a little worse for wear. So.
What rock star has one drink?
Pop star.
Yeah.
Not rock, pop. Weird story. Kind of broke on all the international media overnight and sort of overtook every other piece of news somehow. But I guess it's a celeb being drunk, so...
Yeah.
People like seeing the downfall of an icon.
Nothing to see here. Good stuff, Grace.
Garner.
Okay, so the government has taken steps towards protecting Kiwi children from online exploitation. This all happened yesterday by overhauling the technology that they use to find child sexual abuse images on the internet. This means that websites containing pornographic images of children will now be filtered out and blocked at the very highest level. The DIA reckons the number of blocked URLs from around 700 will go up to about 30,000. We'll talk to the two women who have been fighting to make this happen for years. Very shortly, they've done so well. But first, the Minister responsible, Brooke Van Velden, is with us. Minister, very good morning to you.
Good morning.
This will stop how many images? So images that are currently there now, how many would be not seen? Do you have an estimate on that?
Yes, so the government's DIA filter for digital child exploitation at the moment has around 700 URLs that are filtered. Having this new deal with a UK organisation will see that number go up to around 30,000 websites on any given day that will block this terrible content.
Why is it taking so long to get here? I mean, it seems like a no-brainer to do this. Why is it taking so long to get there when the world's been doing this? We've got these campaigners here who have been in government's faces, successive government's faces for years to say, hey, do this. Why is it taking so long?
Well, one thing we can be absolutely guaranteed is that under this government, this has been on our radar, and I've been following up with the Department of Internal Affairs about their service delivery of the digital exploitation filter. I can't really speak to what was happening before I was Minister of Internal Affairs around 8 months ago, but, my heart really does go out to any child who has been a victim of child exploitation, and any one of those children who knows that their image that has been used to exploit them is found online. And my hope by signing this provision will actually mean that there'll be fewer children victims who are being re-traumatized by knowing that their images are online. And so I think this is a great step for the Department of Internal Affairs, but also those children who have to suffer every day with what they're abusing.
And good on you for doing it too. How hard was it to do?
Oh, well, this work has been carried out by the Department of Internal Affairs. So for myself, I can't talk about what was happening with the contracts behind the scenes, but it has been something that I know the department has been focused on and working on, because we do want to ensure that there are fewer images available online, that even other children might be able to stumble upon. And I know for a lot of families, they're very concerned about what their children might be seeing on the internet, and knowing that there are fewer images of this worst of the worst content available is only a good thing.
And I see yesterday the Department of Internal Affairs has confirmed that 11 roles at the digital safety team could be axed. The Public Service Association has said the lead online investigator for digital child exploitation was among them. This is ridiculous, Minister. On one hand, you say, let's go and do this, and on the other hand, you're sacking staff.
Well, what I can say about this is that the proposed changes within the digital safety team are still up for consideration. However, what I would say is there's only been one position proposed for disestablishment, including a vacant advisor role, which is not directly involved with preventing child exploitation or violent extremism. But I do expect that the digital safety team will maintain the same levels of service as they do currently. That's been my expectation across the Department of Internal Affairs, that core government business will still remain while we are attempting to find saving cuts for all of New Zealand across government. So things like passport services and the digital safety team, people can still expect good service.
So are you saying then that the reporting of this, the 11 roles that could be axed, is that incorrect?
What I'm suggesting is that there will be some roles that just have never been filled because they are vacant roles. But from what I am aware of, there is only one position proposed for disestablishment within this team.
Can you give the New Zealand public a guarantee that the size of the digital safety team won't be any smaller than it currently is?
No, the digital safety team itself may be smaller. However, we still expect the exact same level of service delivery. I believe, and I think this whole government believes, that it's possible to do more with efficiencies. We've found this across the board in other areas that I'm responsible for too, with the Labour Inspectorate, for example, in workplace relations. They've seen a 64% increase in efficiency.
I don't understand, though. You're making new moves here to be more aggressive in this space and to do more and to block more. You need more staff. You don't need fewer staff. Fewer staff can't do more on this. You need people. Computers don't do the work. People program it. People do the work. You need bums on seats in this role.
Oh, well, actually, I disagree with you on there. If you look at the deal that was signed with the IWF in the UK, which will see these huge gains made for our country with the online filter, a lot of their work is done through digital artificial intelligence to identify web pages that will be confirmed to host this illegal material. There is technology that is moving on that is helping us make these great gains. And I look forward to seeing what further work can be made in this space as technology rapidly progresses.
Right, so you can't give any guarantees about the size of this team. You can't give guarantees that people will keep their jobs because you can't.
Well, no, that's a question for the department's chief executive.
No, but you as the minister, as the minister, you have a say. We saw that with the suicide office when the minister came in and said, no, that will be staying. So you do have an operational control. If you want something, you get it.
Well, what I'm saying to people is I expect the exact same levels of service delivery that we have seen, but also gains to be made where we have signed new contracts that will limit people's viewing of child sexual exploitation material online, it is possible to have better outcomes without spending more money or just seeing more people working within a department. What we're seeing here is the ability for efficiencies to be made, but also for there to be great gains. So, yes, I can't speak to the exact numbers of people who'll be working there because that is actually a question for the operational side of DIA. But one thing I want to stress for any family member or a person with a child who might be concerned about this, we do expect the digital safety team to remain, for there to be great work coming from this organisation, but also that we are making good gains by adopting new technologies and new partnerships around the world.
Okay. The Public Service Association, Minister, and I do appreciate your time this morning, the PSA says that the lead online investigator for digital child exploitation was among one of the job losses. Is that correct or incorrect?
So there is one position that I know is available for disestablishment, and that would be someone from within the investigations team.
So
However,
is it correct, though? Is that correct? Is the PSA correct with that claim?
I suspect that is actually a question that you'd need to raise with the department's chief executive. I'm not directly responsible for every person who works within DIA, but I'm responsible for setting the strategy. And one thing that I'm absolutely assured is that the current service levels will remain no matter what is happening across DIA.
But why would you get rid of a lead digital child exploitation investigator? Why on earth would you get rid of that person?
Well, like I say, it is actually very concerning to me that if children are being exploited, and it's very concerning to me that there may be those images found of them online. However, what I have been absolutely assured is while this government is creating savings across the board, across government and within DIA, that the same service level and provision will remain in areas like digital safety and as well as other areas across DIA like the Passports Office. Are
you concerned to hear that, though, that the lead online investigator around child exploitation is one that's going to be disestablished? Are you going to ask for a please explain, or are you comfortable with it?
Look, I'm comfortable with everything that I've been saying this morning, that we do expect the same level of service delivery. However, where there are efficiencies that can be made, this is a good thing. Across government, we know as a government that we have to do more with a tighter pocket, like every family is having to do up and down New Zealand, or every business owner that I'm talking to who's finding it really, really tough out there. We can find great gains and great efficiencies and have better outcomes without increasing how much we are spending year on year. So I think there is a good story for us to be making across government, that for one, we can actually see improvements, like the government signing this deal with the IWF, which will see the removal of child sexual exploitation happening online, increasing from what happened under the previous government from around 700 URLs to anywhere up to 30,000 URLs every day. That is good progress for the department using new technology.
And that is good progress, but a former worker from IRD, from Internal Affairs, has said that if you cut the investigators, this is the direct quote, the actual people doing the hands-on work, you can expect an increase in backlogs of cases that need to be looked at, which are already significantly high. If you're not able to focus on the majority of these cases, there's going to be a significant number of children just waiting for someone to come along and help. So you'll have big backlogs if you don't have people. That's what they're saying.
Well, look, I can't speak to this particular person's experience, but I'm absolutely assured that we have the existing level of investigators. There is only one role that is prepared to be disestablished, and we will expect the same service level of delivery. And I do want to make that very clear. It is possible for us to find savings, but also to find efficiencies.
But why have such low expectations? But if you're guaranteeing the same level of service now, which may well be not good enough, why are you settling for something so mediocre? Why don't you want something better?
Well, we do want things that are better, which is why we have signed this deal with the IWF.
You say you want the same level of service. Now, the level of service now is not that good.
It is better now than it was under the previous government because we have signed a new deal which will see the level of online sexual abuse material featuring children reduced from people's eyes, from around 700 at any time now to around 30,000. This is good progress for the government's digital child exploitation filter, and I certainly hope that there will be fewer victims of child sexual exploitation here in New Zealand and around the rest of the world, as well as fewer people stumbling upon this type of abhorrent content at any given time. This is a good gain for our digital filtering system, and I think all New Zealanders would back us on this. I think it is great progress, but it's also the case that having people within the DIA, it is possible to find efficiencies and still have that level of service.
Minister, I appreciate your time, and time will tell, I suppose, but thank you so much for your time this morning.
Garner.
Okay, you're very welcome. Just by saying you're going to do more with less, says Tama, doesn't make it true, and the evidence doesn't even support that. This is fascinating. We're going to do more with less. We'll just give them no money and see what happens then. Give them nothing. If you want the current level to be the standard, and the current level is crap. So we've heard from Brooke Van Velden about the move to make children safer from online sexual exploitation. But behind the scenes, two women have been battling the internet's monsters and these demons for some time, the devil. Brooker and Jo Robertson launched the Make Sense campaign, which called on the government to regulate not only things like child pornography, but also all violent sexual content online. So is this move going to make a difference? What do they make of the Minister? Ladies, very good morning to you both. Nice to see you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'll start with you, Jo. What do you make of what the Minister just said?
I think she is feeling uncertain. I'm also really sad to hear her say, families are really concerned about what their kids are seeing online.
Yes.
But we know that there is not a lot of action. In fact, they just removed the regulatory body proposal that they were going to put in place. So it's kind of like really mixed messages there.
Yeah, and I'd be worried about the guarantees around numbers there. I think you're going to have, if you have the same numbers, but more workload, you're going to have less result probably because they can't keep up.
Well, the DAA put out a media release a few months ago saying that reports from NCMEC for, around child sex abuse has increased 283% in the last 2 years. So we know there's a growing issue when it comes to child sex abuse material and abuse of children. So to have a loss of staff in that department is really concerning.
So there's more and more of this activity. They're going to be trying to capture more of it too because of the moves they've made thanks to you guys, but with fewer staff. I don't see how the maths works.
It's very hard to understand. I mean, our hope is that having the adoption of the Internet Watch Foundation blocklist takes some manpower away from the manual uploading that has been currently in place.
But there's already backlogs, though.
That's been happening 4 times a year. This list will be updated twice a day using AI.
Yeah.
But, it's a small team already, 10 or 11 staff in that team that we are aware of. There's a lot of work for them to do. There's a lot of exploitation happening globally.
But does it feel good? Because you guys have fought this fight for a number of years now, really on your own, and knocking on doors and taking on, David and Goliath sort of stuff. You must feel like this is a successful day.
Yeah, yesterday there was quite a lot of dancing from us.
Yeah, you danced, didn't you? You danced.
We really did. We made a lot of movement.
Yeah.
We probably swore a lot in excitement.
Yeah, because it's so hard to get change, isn't it? And as you've seen,
it's been a hard slog.
Really got to slog it out.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, definitely. I think there's lots more gains to be made here too. What we know is that, like Holly said, there's lots of children being abused, and that child could be your neighbour. It could be your own child. And I think that if that were the case, you would fight to the ends of the earth to make sure that child was safe.
And there's only one way, and that is to fight. So you've been fighting for all New Zealand children.
Yeah, and there's actually no evidence that they're going to invest in technology. So she says, we can be more efficient with advanced technology.
There's no budget for it.
But it's really bizarre because we've had meetings with the DAA and there's no evidence, no suggestion that they're going to put money into technology. So that doesn't make sense.
Have you met the team? Have you seen how big it is?
We've met the team.
We've met the team.
And how many are we talking about?
Well, in the child exploitation team itself, we believe there's 10 or 11.
Yeah, and she is right that some of those are vacancies. So I think when we first started this conversation, there were about 5 people there.
So the vacancies won't be filled, is what she's saying. So it won't be beefed up. So it is effectively a cutback because the original plan has been cut back.
Absolutely. Yeah. I really want to acknowledge as well the previous government, because a huge amount of this work did actually happen under their tenure. So the previous Minister, Barbara Edmonds, we had our meetings with her. She was really supportive of this, and they made the first step. So it's not fair to say that this is just something that ACT or the coalition government has done.
Yeah, but it has taken its time, hasn't it?
It's taken a good year. The department, the digital child exploitation team, have been working for a year behind the scenes to get this across the line, and we really commend them for the work and dedication to this themselves. But they absolutely need more manpower and more funding.
What should we look out for then as citizens, as parents? What should we be looking out for? What's the next moves we should look for in this?
I would be looking for more announcements, to be honest. If there is total silence for the next year, I think that's a really clear sign that they're not investing, that they're pretty laissez-faire about child exploitation.
We should. They would hate that claim and say they're not because they're doing something. But you put your money where your mouth is, right? So we need to be asking questions about your investment in AI, your investment in tools, your investment in the internet.
That's right. And like I said with that DAA media release just that came out recently, AI is causing a huge increase in child sex abuse material as well. So what are we doing about AI?
I mean, parents do ordinary mum and dad have any idea what's going on the internet?
No, whenever we say, hey, there's a lot of illegal content just freely available for you to watch, videos of people being raped, and they're just like one click away, they are shocked. There is a belief in the community that we as, a society or government is doing something about that, but that is not the case. That doesn't take away from celebrating this particular thing. Like, we're really, really happy to see that.
What about some of this direct marketing to kids, on their phones and things? I mean, that should be blocked, shouldn't it?
I mean, it's really complicated.
I know it is, but it can be looked at.
Yeah. They can do more. There was this proposal, put the Safer Online Services and Media Platforms consultation. It's 3 years long. A lot of funding went into that process, and it's been scrapped just in the last month. Yeah. And that was going to deal with social media companies.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Things like that. They're just quietly just pushed to one side.
And it was quietly pushed to one side, and we were devastated to hear that, because I think for the last 10 years there's been a call for, hey, we need to do something. We need to regulate the industry. Yeah. And the industry, when we've met with the industry, we've met with Meta, TikTok, Snapchat, internet service providers, Google, Microsoft. They are open to regulation, but the government won't do it. Yeah. And it's a huge gap, because our young people are being affected.
But doesn't that show you their intent? Doesn't that tell you everything you need to know, that on when no one's looking and when they thought they could get away with it, they just shelved that there.
Yes.
So that's intent. That's where the heart lies.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So you just can't say in one breath, we really care about what's happening online, and in the other breath, just ditch a whole plan.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, all very well getting the headlines for yesterday, but what about your real intent,
And I think this has been probably it's obviously mixed feelings for us. We're really relieved that this has happened.
And congratulations too, you guys deserve big credit,
we've had a lot of support from the public and from media to get this issue raised. It's an uncomfortable, icky kind of conversation that we don't really want to have.
Yeah.
But, I think what is disappointing too is that that we've had to do this. This gap we've had to highlight this.
Who's funded you guys? Has anyone helped you guys?
We've had private funders.
You have?
Yeah, just like really good people who have said this is important and we're going to support you to do it.
God, just so many hours. How many hours?
Yeah.
How many years?
Many hours.
How many hours? How many years do you reckon?
I've been working
2 days a week.
2 days a week each of us for the last 18 months. That's been what we've been financially paid for. Holly, to be honest, does way more than that. She's up until midnight many nights.
Yeah.
She's really good with boundaries.
I have great boundaries. But I've been working in this space for the last 7 years.
Yeah.
So I've been having conversations with DIA about illegal content for 7 years.
When you see this content yourself,
yeah,
what do you think? What do you do?
I personally don't look at the content because I'm not a researcher, and I've experienced sexual harm myself.
Yeah.
This is Jo's field, and she is phenomenal at how she deals with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's fair to say, though, there's still a lot of tears.
You must just want to turn away.
Yeah. I want to throw up.
Yeah.
It's not easy, and that's why we have to do something about it.
Yeah, and you've done great. Good stuff, guys. I appreciate your time on the program.
Thank you.
All the very best.
Thank you.
We'll keep in touch. We'll keep in touch because there's a lot more fight to go.
There's more to come.
Yeah.
Yes.
All the best, guys. Thank you.
Garner.
Okay, 0800 863 293. They have done well. I'm going to nominate them. I'll tell you a bit more shortly what I'm going to do for these guys because I reckon they're amazing. Duncan, again, more cuts. At what cost? Where's the proof that these cuts will stop more? Where's the proof that these cuts will work? Just by saying you're going to do more with less doesn't make it true, and the evidence doesn't support that. Far out. We want to do things, but nah, job cuts. Thanks, Minister. I don't know how convincing the Minister was. This team is not going to be any bigger, yet their mandate is much, much bigger. So I don't understand how that works. And they will not fill those empty roles. So that means that the original plan of the size of the team becomes smaller. Doesn't it? I reckon it does. Anyway, right, I've got some questions.
3 questions from the Editor-in-Chief.
And
1.
That number 1 today of my 3 questions. Does this happen anywhere else in the world? Police have arrested 2 men in Palmerston North and charged them with pot thefts. The 38 and 40-year-old grown men have been out at night allegedly stealing pot plants and other garden ornamentals. And no one is sure why. It's a little odd, and I wondered whether Mark Lundy's been let out. Or he's on weekend leave, or I'm assured he's still inside. So good work to the cops on that one. Well done.
2.
And number 2, how much explicit material is available in New Zealand today? This is huge, and I'm reminded that I told you this last week, but this is how much there is. If you sat down and watched all the porn available or explicit material in New Zealand today, you'd be sitting here for 157 years. 157 years of porn available in New Zealand. That's why there's change coming.
3.
And number 3, who won, Forrester or me? Our man Forrester was once a high school superstar table tennis player who was so good that his coaches at an elite Auckland secondary school wanted to send him to train with the Chinese national team. However, yesterday he came up short against this ageing sort of bloke, a crafty cutting bloke, but an ageing broken down one all the same, and he lost. Forrester lost. Despite having all the natural advantage of talent, he came a distant second, 11-7, 11-7, 11-9 I think it was. Thanks, Forrester, for the game.
Duncan, Garner.
Okay, so I want to talk about Tania Dalton and the Tanya Dalton Foundation, helping our youth achieve epic potential. That's about to embark on a big fundraising event and will host the Parliamentary Rugby team and the Polyferns, that's the Netball guys, and creating a family cause social event that brings a community together. Locals can rub shoulders with our national MPs in a lighthearted manner rather than argue with them, while fundraising to strengthen Tanya's charity, her foundation, which aims to create a meaningful difference to our young New Zealanders' lives. Who's playing? Who and who's going to be lining up here? I'm interested in this. Dwayne Dalton and Dean Wilson join me now. Hi, guys. Nice to see you both.
Morning, Duncan.
How are you? How's things, mate?
Very well. How are you?
Yeah, very well, thank you.
I'm actually here to recruit. Just we're looking for a halfback. You're pretty good in your day.
You play number 8? I'll play if you play. Who's lined up? Who's playing?
Obviously, the parliamentary team have sort of put together.
Yep.
Mark Mitchell has sort of been a key person in making this happen. He's very passionate about getting involved with the community, but as a Rosmini boy, he knew Tanya when she was at Carmel.
Yeah. So we'll let him in, these Rosmini?
Yeah, we'll probably let him in,
Yeah.
and whether he brings some of his old Rosmini boys along.
Yep.
But Simon Watts is the co-captain, so he's also going to be in there.
So you'll play rugby?
So we're going to play rugby at Takapuna Rugby Club.
Yep.
Get down there. Kids, we got junior rugby beforehand.
Yep.
And then Peter Pitt sort of coming in and sponsoring the day. So we're going to be giving out in conjunction with the foundation.
It's a pretty competitive
whole heap of
team
rugby
too.
balls.
It's a pretty competitive rugby team too, isn't it? The parliamentary team?
So Brett, our GM at Peter Pitt, is sort of fielded as an ex-Harbour Knight. He's fielded quite a few of the guys. They're under strict instructions that it's not a chance to take any MPs out. It's more to generate goodwill and friendship rather than broken bones.
Yeah, well, I've played in these games before with parliamentary rugby team, and they do target you. And, you're not allowed to fight back. That's the rules. So I've got a lot of trouble in the past on this. What's going to happen with the netball?
Oh, look, it's going to be a bit of fun, actually. We've pulled in, actually, all the girls, I think, played with Tans at some point as well. So we've got a couple of ex-Silver Ferns and things, which I think have made the MPs a little bit nervous. And I was like, yes, but none of us other than Anna Harrison, I didn't tell them that she was playing, who's only a year out of retirement. But I'm banking on it being a bit more like walking netball. Well, that's what I'm hoping. I am. It's been 8 years since I've played netball. Yeah.
So when's all this happening?
So Friday night.
Yep.
It's free entry. So come down to
this Friday?
Yep.
Oh, great.
Come down to Netball North Harbour if you want to watch Adine and the girls play netball.
Yeah. What time's that?
So that's kicking off around 7:30.
Yeah.
And then the rugby's kicking off just after 7 at Takapuna Rugby Club.
Right, under lights.
Under lights, and then everyone's welcome upstairs to bend at MP's ear, tell them what they're doing well or what they could do better.
And how else could people donate? Because, Tanya's achieved so much and the foundation's such a good setup. So what's...
Yeah, thank you. Look, jump on to taniadaltonfoundation.org.nz.
Yep.
There's a page there. We also have a gala dinner coming up. Jarden have proudly sort of got in behind us, and so we've got that on the 15th.
You get good support, eh?
We have phenomenal support, Duncan.
Yeah.
It's actually mind-blowing.
Yeah, how are you doing?
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah, no, it's good fun. And then we've also got a women's-only golf tournament in
Right.
November the 26th.
Imagine if we had a men's only one.
Which is Tanya's birthday. So it'll be played in the true spirit of Tanya's sort of love for life.
Yep.
So we're looking forward to it big time.
Yeah. And what do you hope to get out of it, Nadine? What do you hope to achieve?
From the golf
Yeah,
tournament?
no, just from the whole night. Just from the whole night.
Oh, look, it's when you see these athletes that we're able to support, that's what you get out of it, you know. And I've mentored a couple of these athletes, and you see the difference it makes. There's an awesome story, Renee Holmes, on the TDF website, and they're real tearjerkers.
Yeah.
And you know, you can see the difference that it makes to these girls.
So
It's
you can
awesome.
see them being lifted up. You can see what the sponsorship and what the money does and what the effect is.
Well, we
Absolutely.
had workshop last weekend, so we had the 3-year groups all together, and they came round for dinner. And Dame Valerie Adams came and sat down and spoke with them. And she was sitting at their level. It was a two-way conversation, and it was pretty cool. And then they're all doing TikTok dances with her afterwards.
Well, that's standard now, isn't it?
And then the next day they get to hang out with Barbara Kendall, and she's taking them through, different journeys around how to prepare and resilience with sport. But she brings in her Olympic medals and showing them that. So they're
it's
very
something to aspire
privileged.
to. Yeah, you guys have good reach. I mean, Tanya obviously had really massive reach with across sporting, across sporting coaching, didn't she?
Yeah, she did. And that's what this has been really good for too, is, because even Adine mentioned she mentors. A lot of the girls are getting a New Zealand athlete mentor, not necessarily in their own sport, but someone that can sort of help guide them when things do get tough. And, sport for these young girls, we think the economy's tough and a cost of living crisis. If it's tough for us, it's even a hell of a lot tougher for these girls. So now is the time if, people can reach into their pockets to help them out, because they're future Olympians. In fact, we've got 3 girls from the foundation going to the Olympics this year, which is pretty cool.
It's in carrying Tanya's flag as well. Are you playing on Friday? No, I'm trying to clarify. He was a bloody good player.
No,
this guy could play rugby.
We're going to. I'll be running between the netball and the.
He's making
rugby.
excuses. Come on,
but I'm with him. I might throw some water. So. Yeah, I mean, it's just. I'm 50. You must be 52.
Yeah.
You're 50.
Yeah. No, went to school together.
Yeah. And the old Hemis don't work anymore, and everything's a bit tougher, isn't it?
Yeah, getting out of bed sometimes is
I
could
agree.
result in an injury.
Yeah.
Oh, listen to you.
We didn't look after ourselves.
Oh, get the violin out. Get the violin out.
Oh, it was different in our day.
Yeah.
Hey, good stuff, guys. All the very best.
Thank you, Duncan.
Appreciate your time. Good stuff.
Thank you.
Awesome. Cheers, mate.
Okay, you're welcome.
Garner.
Okay, so lots of feedback coming in. Duncan, I missed your pot story. There was a pot plant. It wasn't pot, it was pot plants, okay? Just to reiterate, teens, 17 to 19-year-olds are teens. What are you telling me that for? Not only child porn, yes, but the grooming and the proliferation of teens on the OnlyFans as well. Yeah, that's an issue, isn't it? That's a real issue. Hey, Forrester.
Yes.
The table tennis. Duncan, you're the man for beating Forrester. Forrester, sorry for your loss, says James.
Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah, thank you, James.
But you are good though. I can see you've got something real special. You just didn't quite have the muscle memory.
Yeah, haven't you been playing this every day? This is my warm-up day, isn't it?
I've been playing it 3 times a day.
Yeah, this is. Yeah, you got to get me some. Give me a week. Give me a week.
A week.
Yeah, I got to warm up.
You were a world beater. You're in your top side at school. You went off to the Chinese to play with them. I mean, you were good.
Right. Yeah. I don't think any of that really did happen, but I was.
Did I make that up? Oh,
yeah, no, I was in the B team for my school, which is pretty good out of 36 teams.
So where do you go to school? Auckland Grammar or something?
Auckland Grammar. Yeah.
Oh, a B team there is like that's still class.
Yeah, it's still pretty good, but that was a long time ago. I gotta train again. I gotta get back into it.
You think you can beat me?
Give me a week. Yeah, I think so.
Oh, here, this is the challenge.
Hey, Duncan, let me remind you. Yes. We had 3 games and you only won by 2 points. So.
Oh, you remember. Well, this is going to get good. Okay, they built it in-house, but there we go. Thank you, Forrester. I'm going to start training hard now. Duncan, you need an OnlyFans account, says Troy. What would I do with an OnlyFans account? What would I possibly do with it? Don't answer.
Feet pics.
No.
No. Yeah. Foot and hand pics.
Foot and mouth. No, thank you.
It's the slam dunk.
Oh, you don't want my feet pics. But when the government next does its New Year's honours list, I truly hope that Holly Brooker and Jo Robertson make the cut. I intend to nominate them for what it's worth. I'll give it a go. They have tirelessly and unrelentingly dragged this sleepy public service and successive governments to the table to actually do something about the massive amounts of explicit material available. Now, we're talking hideous content exploiting kids. It's just horrific. And they've got them to understand and to use this international block list, which stops the trade of these images full stop. So the links don't come our way. But without their petition and their relentless meetings with everybody, alluding them to the issue, it wouldn't have been done. The Department of Internal Affairs didn't even know about the Internet Watch Foundation block list. They didn't know. These two women introduced them to it. So after a long 18 months of campaigning for this change, knocking on every door possible and meeting with the Internal Affairs, the Chief Censor, many MPs, ministers, ISPS, Meta, TikTok, Google, Microsoft, all these people, having this change adopted is a relief, and it really shows the power of the people. And I said this last week, people power can make a huge difference, but just don't give up. And they never gave up. So when we make a fuss about the problem in society that the industry isn't addressing, we can be successful, but we have to repeat ourselves and then repeat ourselves again. They deserve an honour. So many people in the New Year's honours and the King's Birthday honours, whatever, you don't even know what they do. But these two women have stuck their necks out and have fought tirelessly for children. Because society stopped listening a very long time ago, you see. We just don't listen anymore. This is Erin Brockovich stuff. All the resources of state, and two women smoked them with their hard work and their never say die approach and attitude, which I think should be honoured. The work doesn't stop now. Staff cuts in the very area that we need more staff and have been suggested. And the Minister this morning, if you listen to that interview and go and listen again, she gave me no certainty that things would be okay. And this is not a time to cut staff in the child exploitation team. No way. Crush this issue by throwing resource at it. Sophisticated videos, including, I daren't say this, but bestiality and rape, need to be captured in these clampdowns, and we're still unsure if they will be. But this internal affairs team has been understaffed and underfunded for so long, and now is not the time to lay people off when we've got these creeps and weirdos in our sights and heading to parts of the jail that no one dares enter. The government must honour the work of Joe and Holly by carrying it on and not cutting it down. It's really simple to me.
Garner.
Okay, that is us. Thank you to everyone involved today. This will be available as a podcast on Rover shortly, and wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks for all your feedback today. Lots of feedback coming in, and all your support as well. I'm Duncan at rover.nz. Send me your ideas and your thoughts to my team. Kalo, Miranda, Forrester at number 2 ranking, and Zarina. Thank you, guys. We'll do this all again tomorrow. Life's no dress rehearsal. There is no curtain raiser. This is it. We live in one of the best places on earth, so get out there, enjoy it, and have a great day. Take care, folks.
That was Duncan Garner, Editor-in-Chief Live. Missed something on the live stream? Text Duncan to 3598 to listen back on the podcast. Want to get in touch? Call 0800 863 293.